DT.
Hello, this is DT Gaming, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a massive 30 plus terminal station in Transport Fever 2 without any mods. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe for more content and check out my links in the description below. I have an ambitious TPF2 series planned where I'll be making a 13 city mainline on a custom tropical map, and I'll be starting in 1852, taking the save as close to present day as my computer will allow. I think I play a lot differently than most of the TPF2 creators out there, so you'll be sure to learn something new whether you're just starting out or are a seasoned pro. It's going to be a crowded, challenging map and a lot of fun. You really won't want to miss it. But enough yapping, let's get into it. Here's my startup screen just to show that there are no mods needed to build this station. Not needing a mod to build a giant station like this is great. Mods are excellent in TPF2, but you can very quickly end up with 40 of them in your save file, which will cause your save to slow down in the long run, especially in the late game. So the less mods you need to use for just base functionality purpose, the better. You can have more vehicle and asset mods this way, and those are the mods that are what really makes this game great and your saves great. I'm going to show you this giant station build as a speed build first, and then afterward, I'll talk about the trick needed to do this more in depth, and I'll show you how to make the station even bigger if you want to or need to. So sit back, enjoy the speed build, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes with more. Let's talk about this giant station more in depth. We have 30 different terminals. There are 12 terminating platforms on either side, and the 2 long through platforms we have here. And we have 2 through tracks going down the middle for trains that don't need to stop. Here is one of our through trains right now. Let's hop on. I added some single track lines in just to have some traffic going and moving about. But we go over the giant station example. We were heading towards another big station. This is the largest station you can build without my exploit. It has 16 different terminals and 8 platforms, but it does have a big problem. You can't connect it to any towns because the outside sections can only be tracks and not platforms. It's a bit unfortunate really, but you don't necessarily need a mod to improve it. So here's the station I'm talking about. As you can see when I click on it, nothing lights up. We don't have any connections to these towns. There's no catchment area. So let's get connected by using that terminus exploit. We will start by taking out a section about halfway through the station. You have to go in far enough in order for the building to fit, and you want to make sure you have room on the other side to copy the process, if you so desire. As you can see here, it will not let me place the passenger building as a terminus unless I have more than 2 sections removed. Otherwise, it's going to try to place it on the side. As you have probably figured out by now, modular station building in Transport Fever 2 is very powerful. You can do even crazier things than this. You can combine freight and passenger stations. You can make giant stations that are almost a mile long. For those of you who played the original Transport Fever, you may remember the limitations of the old static stations, and you had to demolish them pretty much every time you wanted to change something. So if you have the game, definitely play around with the modular stations. They have a lot of fun. You can pretty much do anything with these modular stations without mods. You don't really need mods to kind of make crazy stations in Transport Fever 2. Although they do help, there are a lot of great mods for stations on Steam. I'm not saying that mods aren't worth your while or worth looking into. And we built this station a little bit differently, as the terminus platform abuts a through track on this station, whereas on the giant station there was a platform. So we'll put in the other side now. We're going to get a road put in, and we'll connect it to the town. We'll do something a little bit different still on this side, and we're going to put a large building and a side entrance. As you can see from the large building, it is quite big, and you can't connect it to the town without removing another section. And we're going to do that here. We're going to go off to the side now, because I have this other station down here I want to show you. And this station is an example of how you can make the giant station even larger by adding in double switches and take it from 30 to more than 30. I think you could probably go as high as 60, maybe plus, if you really get fancy with it. So on this station, I only have 4 platforms, but if you look at the terminals, I kind of have an insane 25 terminals. It's just so many for 4 platforms. I'm going to go over to the giant station, and I'll show you how to add in double switches, get even more terminals on this bad boy. In order to do this, we'll have to take out some more sections in the middle right here, and get a double switch in. Double switches allow trains to switch in any direction on any set of tracks. To build a double switch, you pick a point here, and you drag it across to start. There are some players who don't like double switches because they slow down the trains quite a bit when they're entering them, but I like the flexibility they offer. So to make a double switch, you want to snap it in directly across from the other switch you just made. And as you'll see here, they don't always work. It takes me a couple tries to get this one in. The biggest tip I have for making a double switch is to just make sure the ground you are working on is completely flat and straight. You can sometimes jam these in on a curve, but it is definitely tricky. You want to make sure that it's a nice straight track in order to get them in. And last but not least, make sure you click the middle. You'll see a little pop-up that says double switch, and you want to click yes to make sure that trains are actually able to use it as a double switch. They won't be able to use it as a double switch if you don't have that selected. So now we're just going to take out some more sections in the middle here on either side of the through tracks and turn them into regular tracks. Add in some more switches to allow trains to be able to use these platforms coming through the through tracks. So that way they don't have to enter from either side of the station. You can come further into the station and then enter the terminal. So you'll definitely have better traffic flow if you use this and you want to have multiple lines connecting to these 2 side stations or 2 side platforms next to the through tracks. And as you can see here, when I have the station editor open, the station tracks are colored, whereas the non-station tracks are in this grayscale color here.
And that's how you're able to tell the difference. Sometimes you might get confused and try to be hooking up a switch to a static track, a track that's part of the station. So if you enjoyed the giant station build here and you're going to use it in your game, please give me a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next in a tips and tricks series if you're new to the game. And like I said in my intro, definitely follow me on Twitch and turn the notifications on here on YouTube, because I'm going to be doing an awesome series with this game coming up very soon. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy gaming.